The day I got my black belt. The day I got my first degree black belt in Kempo Karate, I was 18 years old. And I was asked to give a little speech. Before we get to that, my name is Mr. 2020, and I want to welcome you to the Neville Goddard podcast, the free Neville Goddard podcast. Oh my God, so much fun. Today is Saturday, the 15th of July. I have an awesome coaching call in 87 minutes with Chris, who's done ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, Dream Driven Day, and is now in the year-long Remarkable program. You cannot imagine my excitement. And I'll tie that in a little bit, because I was 18, and I got my first degree black belt in Kempo, and I was asked to give a little talk. Just a little speech. And so I pointed out to those in the little room I just finished. Testing was tough. And they knew it, and I knew it. And I shared with them, when I was 12 years old, I was still pissing the bed. And when I was 12 years old, I was still pissing the bed. I would have been in like 7th, 8th grade. When I was in 4th grade, I quit riding the bus because I'd pee myself on the bus. They picked on me that bad. I was that tense. Several times a week, I couldn't get home without pissing myself. So they had an idea. They said, hey, let's make sure he pees before he leaves the building to get on the bus. I had another idea. I'm done with the bus. I'll walk. And I walked to school every day, starting in 4th grade to 8th grade, and then I went to Guyball High School. I had to take a bus then. But meanwhile, by then I'd started Kempo Karate, and I was nuts. Because I was moving from being a teenage bedwetter diagnosed with scoliosis, told that he would be in a back brace or wheelchair in his 20s, to a karate champion. Bill Superfoot Wallace, Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, those were my guys. Joe Louis, the karate guy, not the boxer. Loved Joe Louis, the boxer, as well. Just a heads up, they're different people. I decided to be a different people. I changed my identity. It wasn't about winning the trophies or having the belt. It was about a new version of me. And I got to tell you, this new version of me. So I became a teenage black belt, and I told them about this. And almost nobody in the room knew. They just saw, hey, he just passed his test. They saw that guy, the super fit guy. I could do 300 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, no freaking problem. Right? Good ones, too. No cheating. I used to do the David Lee Roth jump splits between chairs, all that good stuff. I do something a little different now, but I'm 57. That's a few years later, and I continue to play every day. I just love exploring the mechanics behind the movements, the possibilities that the human body has, because I'm a possibility kind of guy. See, one of those things that you get to work through, there are these states that almost nobody considers, but I do. Some people live in the state of problem. Every phone call, every email, every story, there's a problem. Want to know what state you live in? Listen to your stories. Problem, problem, problem. Some people live in the state of argument, argument, argument. They're closely related, by the way. Possibility, on the other hand, possibility. You declare something possible into existence. Is it possible for a 12-year-old little boy that pisses the bed, who was told that he would be crippled in his 20s? I'll use that word. I know it's not a popular word, but that's the word the doctor used, so I'll use it. I'm not into editing. I'm into expression. You didn't come here to edit yourself. You came here to express and explore and expand yourself. Thanks for sharing that, Beth. And here's the thing, guys. I'm going to do a crass commercial. State stacking. If this turns you on at all, if I've got your attention, state stacking. You can get that at NevilleGoddardStore.com. Meanwhile, yeah, that's a new one. That one's got some punch to it. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's the state of waiter. I want you to think about this. What's a waiter do? A waiter comes to your table and waits for you to give them your order. And if you're like my mother-in-law, it takes you forever to order what everyone knows you're going to get. Right? And that's all right. I mean, you can ask a million questions. You can try to figure it out. You can look at what everyone else is doing for months, years, decades. And those around you aren't going to be happy, and neither is the waiter. Often the waiters say, "Would you like me to come back?" "Oh, yes, I would. But first, let me ask you a question." Right? Anyway, let's skip all that. Your rational mind is only the interference. It will ask endless questions. It is useful. Don't get me wrong. I love my rational mind. Right? Plug in the microphone. Push the buttons. Now, the thing with the waiter is you can live in a state of waiter and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for everything to be right, to take in all the data from everyone at the table, and then for everyone else, and you can be waiting for the meals, and you can wait and wait, or you can realize that you're the one that determines where the limousine goes. You're the backseat billionaire. What can I say? If I let things go the way things were going, I would have been in a back brace or a wheelchair in my 20s, according to the experts. Meanwhile, you can settle for your diagnosis, a self-imposed diagnosis. Thank you, Dr. Google. And I'm not just talking medical here. I'm talking everything. I should have been the geeky kid that just, got a really good job in computer programming and never kissed a girl. The rate I was going. I was painfully shy. And I chose to become a black belt. I started to experience the world through the eyes, through the identity of black belt. You see, I had a problem. The problem was I kept pissing myself because everyone was picking on me. I was the human punching bag, verbally, physically. I didn't try to solve the problem. I reinvented me. There was a possibility. I saw this guy, Kwai Chang Caine, the Kung Fu TV series. Some of you might remember that. And I just thought, this guy is so at peace. This guy is so lovely. This guy blesses so many people. I want to be like him. And this whole thing of martial arts, being able to do cool shit with your body, that just thrilled me. Instead of just using my body to piss my pants, I wanted to explore something different. This is something that we manifest with all the time. If you are who you've chosen to be, right? So you got a wish. One of my wishes, happy, loving husband. If I was a happy, loving husband, what would I experience when I come home from the pool? Right? Joy, anticipation. I'd see her and smile. And if I imagine seeing her and smile, guess what kind of relationship we have? You notice I'm not making it about her. Right? I'm making it about me. If I see her smile, that means she's happy. And if you love someone, what do you want for them? Meanwhile, if you got gold today, state stacking, go get that at NevilleGoddardStore.com. That is, I think, our absolute newest release, even though it's not the newest release on the thing. It's a couple rows down. But go get it. It's really cool. It will change how you approach this in all kinds of ways. My name is Mr. 2020. Have a lovely day. Let us go into the silence. When you change who you are, what you do, what you experience, and what you have all change. Let's begin where it matters. Thanks for listening. Have a lovely day. See ya.